going to look at how to put on personal protective equipment, or PPE, especially for use during the COVID pandemic. First of all, you want to wash or sanitize your hands. You use about a nickel-sized amount of hand gel, and you want to get all the surfaces of your hands. Use the same motions as you do for hand washing. And when your hands are dry, then they are clean. Next, you want to get a gown and put the gown on first. The purpose of the gown is to protect your clothing from getting wet or contaminated. There's a tie in the front of the gown, and it needs to be tied on the side so that it can be easily removed. After the gown is on, you can get a face mask. Try to handle it with a minimal amount of contact. Put your fingers on the ear loops or around the edges, keeping the middle clean. And you want to put the loops over your ears, and then take the nose piece and mold it to your nose so it has a tight fit. And lastly, pull it down over your chin. Now, if it's a little bit loose, you can loop the ear loops an extra time. You can twist them to make it tighter, like that. So after you have the mask on, the next piece of equipment is a face shield. The face shields are not disposable, so if you start to use one, please save it. We'll talk about disinfecting it, and make sure you keep it just for yourself. Again, try to handle it around the edges. There's an elastic strap at the top. And the purpose of the face shield is to cover your face and to make sure the T-zone of your face is covered. If you don't have a face shield, you can use goggles. If you don't have goggles like this, simply glasses are not enough to cover the sides of your face. So look into swim goggles would work, or some kind of woodshop goggles would work as well. And then lastly, you want to protect your hands, and so you want to wear gloves. Bring the cuffs of the gloves up over the cuffs of the gown. Now you're ready to work with the individual. So when you're finished working with the individual, you need to assume that your gloves and the front of your gown are soiled or contaminated. So the first step is to take off your gown and your gloves together. You want to untie the gown at the side, and then slowly pull the gown off your shoulders, inside out. When you get to your wrists, remove your gloves with the gown. Now, my clean hand, I can go inside the gown and help. As I'm doing this, I'm folding up the gown inside out into a package that I will dispose of in the trash can. Now, I'm going to wash or sanitize your hands using the same mechanics we spoke about earlier. Now with clean hands, I'm going to remove the face shield. I don't want to touch the front because it may be contaminated. So I want to reach behind and take the elastic off. This is not disposable, so I want to put it to the side so I can disinfect it. If you feel like you need to, you can sanitize your hands again, although I just touched the elastic. I'm going to not touch the front of the mask, but just get the loops behind my ears, pull them out, and dispose of that in the trash bag. And then I'm going to finally sanitize or wash my hands. So these are unusual times. Usually we do not reuse disposable PPE, personal protective equipment, but we might need to do it in these days. So if your gown is not soiled and not wet, and you need to reuse it, there's a different way to take it off. If it is soiled or wet, it'll need to be replaced. So if you're going to reuse the gown, you have to remember that the front part of it might be contaminated even if there's nothing that you can see on it. So in that case, you want to first of all take your gloves off. Remove them in the way that you always remove gloves. Remove the first one, make a ball. You take your clean finger and go down the inside of your hand, inside out, and throw it into the trash can. Then I want to wash or sanitize my hands so that my hands are clean. And then I will reach over to the side and undo the tie. And this time I want to reach with my clean hands behind my back to a clean part of the gown and pull it off slowly inside out. Now this hand is clean. And I can fold it up. I want to keep the outside part of the gown inside. And then I want to store it in a place where individuals can't access it. If there's a place to hang it, that would be great, or in a bag. Again, please tag it with your name and the date. After that, I want to wash or sanitize my hands again. So now when I need to reuse the gown that has already been used, I will take this package and I will make sure I'm only touching the inside part of the gown, and you can tell as I'm unfolding it by the seams. You can tell the seams. So you want to carefully unfold it without touching the outside of it. Try not to fluff it too much. And then I want to put a clean pair of gloves on before I tie it. I want to fix it on my shoulders. And then with a clean pair of gloves, I will get the ties that have come down in the front and tie it on the side. For other PPE that needs to be reused and disinfected, like the face shield or goggles, first of all you want to wash and sanitize your hands and then wear a pair of gloves. You can either use the Lysol wipes or a spray disinfectant, and you want to make sure that you have both sides, the side that faced you and the side that was facing out of the face shield or the goggles to disinfect. So after you've sprayed those areas, You want to let it air dry for 10 minutes. Again, please keep those items in a bag with your name on it so that you're the only one that uses them. Another piece of equipment you may have at some point is the N95 mask. Again, you want to touch it by the edges. N95 mask has a top strap and a bottom strap. So when you're putting it on, you want to take the top strap and place it over the top of your head like this. It's supposed to be kind of right at that part of your head. And then just touching the edges. Again, there's a wire here that you want to firmly place around your nose. Then you take the bottom strap, and this goes up and over. And that should fit snugly around the bottom of your head, around your neck. So there's two straps. After you have it on, then you want to, again, just make sure that nose bridge piece is very tight. And inhale and exhale, making sure you have a tight fit and no air is escaping. And these will be reusable. So again, when you take it off, the mask will be taken off after you have your gloves off and your hands are clean. So you want to make sure you only touch the elastic straps of it. And take the bottom one off first. And then you take the top one off. And don't touch the respirator in the middle. So this can have your name on it. Please put your name on the elastic part of it or on the Ziploc bag, and then that can be used when you need it again.